We need him.
We're doomed.
John Constantine. I'm glad we found you.
Find your own pub. We're drinking our way through this one. In fact, the old street's ours pub-wise, so sod off.
Hello, Heroclix land. Welcome back to Talkn Clix. I am your host, Wespool. With me, as always, is my faithful partner, Scott Johnson. Hello, Johnson.
Good evening.
Here on Talkn Clix, we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. Scott, who we have with us tonight?
Tonight we have Mr. Chris Cook.
What's
Never
cooking,
met the man,
Chris?
Hello. Hopefully me, at the end of this month, we actually have a pretty big Heroclix tournament that we're going to be running at my local shop that I'm super excited for.
Nice.
Heroclix?
Heroclix, yes. I actually worked for a local gaming shop called Family Game Night, and the shop owner is a big fan of Halo. He got a hold of 3 bricks of Heroclix set, and we're actually going to draft it and play with it at the end of the month for an ROC Winamap kit.
Sounds awesome.
Nice.
It's wild.
It's going to be the Halo Heroclix,
Yeah,
not the Action Clicks, because Halo did 2 different things. They did the Action Clicks first, and they were not compatible. So the Heroclix, they were pretty cool.
No, this is the Halo Heroclix. Yeah.
All right, you're going to want a lot of grunts. The grunts are actually pretty decent.
I've never got my hands on a Halo set. I've always wanted a Halo set. I've never been able to find one.
Like we're having to charge like $300 a brick, I think, for it.
Oof!
Wow.
Yeah, it's very expensive. So the entry fee for the tournament's kind of pricey, but our local guys love playing field. So
The point values are crazy. Some of those points you're like,
are they?
What? Now they have good length of dials for their points, but man, those 72 points for what you feel like is a 30-point figure. I'm like, ugh. But you got twice the dials.
72 points. Should be interesting because I really did just get into Heroclix within the last, at the end of Worlds last year is when I got into Heroclix.
Oh, wow.
So I haven't been into it that long yet.
Awesome. Yep. Oh, it's nice. Episode is sponsored by Bushlight Apple, as my son likes to call it, Bapple.
I got watermelon water. Fresca.
I got Baja Blast and the backup Gatorade.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your journey into Heroclix. How did you get started? Have you done any competitions?
I've played a few competitions. Let's just say I have taken last place at both of the major events that I played, so nothing special of a player, but I enjoy the heck out of the game. I actually played my first time playing Heroclix was actually in 2002 at my local gaming shop when I was like 14, and I played it there and loved the game, but I shortly then after moved down to where I live now in West Virginia, and there wasn't really a scene for it, and didn't really get to play again until here recently, honestly.
So do y'all play at your store where you work at? Where you work at?
Yeah, I play where I work at. I'm actually the whole reason that we've even built up a scene in Beckley, West Virginia. I started just on a whim, decided to get back into Heroclix one day. I didn't even think it was still a game, and I looked it up. It still seemed like it had a very lively community, and was just kind of hopped right in. And I go figure, it's right at the very end of Worlds last year, so I missed the whole entirety of X-Men X Tours and all that, which I feel like I would have really enjoyed. But and the Batman team up set, I missed that one. I really feel like I would have enjoyed that set a lot. But my first set was have not. Yeah, I missed. All right. What set did I start with? The first new set that came out when I started playing was Black Panther.
I like that set. It's not the best set, but I like it.
How do you know Scott?
What's up?
So
How do I know Chris?
Yeah.
Actually, after I got on the podcast, I seen someone talking on another group about casual type games. So I'm like, hey, we have something on our podcast coming out, Casual Corner. And then I'm like, maybe one day you want to be on the show. Just kind of chatting it up, trying to reach new people. And here he is.
So, Chris, have you tried?
Yeah, I'm definitely your.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go. What were you going to say?
I was just saying I'm definitely a casual player.
Have you tried some of Scott's new formats that he's creating?
There's only 2, and they're not new.
Have you tried the roulette yet?
No, I've not had a chance to try anything yet. I'm still in the process of building a community, so it's hard getting players to show up on a weekly basis. I can generally only get people to show up on like a monthly basis so far, so hopefully when we start getting more of a weekly basis crowd, I can start trying some of these more casual formats. At least that's what I'm hoping.
What's your average players on your game night, and what day do y'all play?
We play every Saturday at 5, and the monthly tournaments we generally have about 8 people. But every once in a while we've been slowly building up. Like we started with just 2 of us, then we got 4, then 6, now 8, and I think we have some more people from the surrounding areas that plan on coming. They just haven't been able to make it out yet.
Who is the most experienced player in your group?
It's got to be Matt. Matt seems like he generally wins our events. He's really well-rounded player, super nice guy, like helps everybody out. Him and Ben, they come from Charleston, and they went to Worlds last year, so they've probably got more experience than the rest of us do.
Cool.
Everybody else is pretty well new, just starting out when getting their feet wet. So
a bunch of newbies. So casual is gonna be the way to go. Basically, tabletop at your house style games. Have you heard of Roll20?
Yes, I have not been able to quite figure it out, but I haven't had anybody to really sit down with me yet and play a game with me on there.
It's a neat tool. It's pretty steep learning curve. The basics are pretty easy to pick up. It's just it's a very different feel from the Heroclix, so it's I don't know. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people don't mind it. I'm kind of on the fence where it's a necessary evil because I'm like, I don't have a lot of people to play with on a weekly basis, so I have to reach out to people on Roll20 to help me get some practice in.
Yeah, I really need to learn Roll20 so I can get more games in. I generally get my butt handed to me because I never have any practice games whatsoever in for anything that I go and play. But I still enjoy playing it, so.
To me, every game is practice. Even if it's not the team that I'm designing to go to an event, everything is practice.
Yeah, I'm still very much so a learning player.
One day I'm going to learn how to roll dice.
Do you?
I feel you there.
Do you buy from every new set that comes out, or do you just buy loose boosters, or do you buy whole bricks?
I generally buy a case of every set that comes out, but I'm starting to realize how much bulk that builds up, how quickly it builds up, and I'm probably just going to start buying like singles that I want from the set. and like a complete common, uncommon, rare set,
So
and just
go ahead.
I'll probably just save myself a lot of money doing that instead of spending $400 every time a set comes out.
So to me, I buy at least a case usually, but I'll have enough extras to where if we have a new guy come in, I'm like, hey, here's some CUR stuff. I generally keep
Yeah.
extra generics because we play a game at the end of the year called Zombies, which that'll be one of my casual corner games later. Speaking of casual corner, I'm working on some oldies but goodies. They're going to be a double header. We're going to do Shock the Turtle and one called King of the Hill. I'm going to put them basically in the same video because they're similar to each other. That's coming up.
Yeah, I'm with Scott. I always say I'm only going to buy one brick, and I end up buying like a case or
Three.
more. And I have lots of extras, duplicates, and what I tend to do is I keep at least one of everything, and then I find somebody who doesn't have the ability to buy a whole brick, and I just give them whatever, or somebody new. So I don't have a lot of back stock. I just, hey, you play Heroclix here. You want these? And give them out, and they appreciate it, and they have something to play with. And I get rid of my overstock.
So we have a local guy who spent some time in the orphanage slash what is it called when you go to the houses for people? Oh, man, I can't
Foster
slip in my
home.
head. Foster home, yes, foster homes. So he will collect our extras ever so often and go take them over to the orphanage or the foster home places so that the kids have access to them, and we'll print up PACs for them and stuff and give them extra maps. So if y'all have stuff around
really
for
cool.
that, I mean, if you got a bunch of dupes, just collect them from the players and be like, here you go, guys. We're going to go take this to an orphanage. And what kid doesn't
Actually,
like
it's kind
heroes
of
and
neat
villains?
that you bring that up. I am actually a foster dad myself. I am now currently taking care of 2 newborns. Me and my wife are.
Oh, wow.
So I have connections with the local foster agency. I could very much so do that. I actually really like that idea. I didn't even think of that.
It's good for kids. I mean, the game is very complex, but once a kid can start grasping their head around it, I mean, Isaac was 11 years old when he won Worlds the first time, so it's not.
Wow.
Bach says 14 and up, but children can learn it. I got a 12-year-old who's been playing for like 3 years. He's not really into the game, but he plays it because I play it.
I think my daughter was 9 or 10 with extreme ADHD, and I was able to teach her how to play. She didn't stick with it because she's a teenager in the modern era of computers and cell phones and everything. But she grasped the concept, and she did play it for a good year with me, so I was pretty impressed with that.
All right. Salty or sweet?
Both.
So
Okay, Wes.
do you listen to a lot of podcasts for HeroClix or watch any YouTube videos?
Yeah, I do a fair amount when I can. There's you guys. Who else do I listen? I'm trying to think of the names here. I don't have my list. Oh, hold on. Let me get my list in front of me. I pull it up.
You mentioned Degeneration Clicks. That last episode, or the one from last week, it was 5+ hours long. Holy cow! The sweatshop was real.
Yeah.
I have not listened to that one yet, actually, but they're on there. Critical Clicks, Clixed off, Clicks in it. I think, and Critical Clicks. I think that's it.
Missing the JSA.
So the guys over the Generation Clicks decided to take a soundbite from one of my interviews and use it as a running gag on their show, where I accidentally said the word fire rocket, which I don't remember saying that, but They thought it was hysterical.
You
and they,
just did.
yeah.
You got a new one.
So I'm returning a favor, and I got a soundbite of Miles on that 5 hour long episode. I'm gonna work into my shows here and there.
Oh my god, that gong that they did was horrible. I was like, how many more times are they gonna do this thing? It's played out after like the first three.
The
And not to critique them or anything.
the goats. It was just on that line of still funny and obnoxious, and it was right on that line.
So you're still new-ish to the game. I see you have a nice little collection started back there. Is that modern or silver or golden or just a mishmash of everything?
It's a mix match of everything, but like 70-80% modern.
So when you have your separation on your stuff up there, like your boxes, how do you separate them? By like team abilities?
By
Set?
set.
By
By
set?
set. Yep. The Golden Age and Silver Age stuff, I don't have enough of to like actually sort it by set. It's just kind of in boxes that are like gold and silver, but all the Modern Age stuff is sorted by set, which Black Panther, Collector's Trove, Deadpool, Weapon X, I have bought way too many of those sets.
Like,
Those
I
tubs
feel
are
like
completely full.
this year the sets have been shorter, but not necessarily. The Spider-Man set I didn't really care for, but the Smash and Destroy, it felt bigger than the Spider-Man set. I don't 70 figures I think is what they said. A lot of A, B, and C dials though.
What didn't you like about Spider-Man?
Ah. I felt like the Spider-Man set when they announced it, it was gonna be like, oh hey, it's gonna be a ton of super senses, and the Spider-Man set had just it felt like it was gonna be a ton of super senses, and not a lot of anything to do about it. So we're just gonna sit here and throw dice for 45 minutes to an hour and miss because super senses.
I did one sealed Spider-Verse set, and that's pretty much how it felt. Like just rolling super senses all day.
Do you play a lot of sealed and BRs and that kind of stuff?
I've only gotten to do one or two BRs, but I've done a fair amount of sealed at this point. Let's just say I do not have the best luck for sealed. I normally seem to pull like the two worst rares and worst commons and uncommons that you can pull out of my two packs.
Or making treasure out of trash.
Scott, when did
Yeah,
This,
I've put together some okay teams, but like this last event we did a Smash and Destroy sealed, and a guy in the group pulled who you had Quicksilver and the Juggernaut chase, and he just
wrecking
he just
shop.
ran through everybody. It was ridiculous.
Well,
Like I
that's part
I
of
didn't feel like there was anything to like counteract the Juggernaut in that set and sealed at all.
That's part of the set design. Some of the pieces are like super hard to deal with. The Prime Destroyer, if you got a pile driver with it, so you got Flurry on the follow up stuff. So, I mean, good pulls versus making magic happen.
I'm always
I don't know.
curious about the design
Yeah.
process and how much they consider interaction with other sets and how much is it supposed to be the internal within itself playability.
I think that the sets are designed basically internally with whatever sets just released after it and the one that's coming up. I feel like that's their little area of, hey, this is what we think is going to work well together. I mean, to give an example, Wonder Woman 80 and the Fantastic Four Future Foundation, and I think AFFE, they all had captains and sidekicks. I feel like those were kind of designed to be together of a sort. But was it cohesive all the way? You could break some of that stuff if you had the right captains and sidekicks.
Scott, when did they go from 10 to 12 boosters in a brick? Was that
They started off with 12 in a brick, but you would get 4 bricks in a case.
no? I'm talking about
And you
this past year. What set was it they switched?
Collector's Trove.
Collector's Trove.
Yeah. So, what was your thoughts on that, Chris? When they went from 10 to 12 boosters in a brick?
I will say I'm a huge fan of always getting a chase now because it used when I had a couple experiences with some of my earlier breaks where I didn't pull a chase or a prime in an entire case, and that just felt awful. And now
Those are
getting a
the
chase in every brick, that feels fantastic. But I will say I feel like we should also get at least like another super or maybe a guaranteed prime. Just it it feels like way too many rares in a brick now.
Look. We've always promoted the God bricks. Be like, oh, someone got the God brick, the God pack, whatever. We need to have some discussion about the turd brick. There are some
Yeah.
terrible turd bricks, and I don't know how it is at y'all's venues, but I can speak for myself and another local here. We have bought 2 cases and have the exact same 2 cases. Like
Yep.
everything piece for piece is the exact same, and they usually come in 2 cases taped together. And if you buy it like that, you better cut that apart, give that brick to someone else, and get one of theirs because you're gonna pull a duplicate case.
I just found that out this
I had
past
that
year.
happen.
I didn't know
I
about that
had that
till this
happen with the
past year.
Masters of Time case. I wasn't mad about the Masters of Time case though because it had the Prime Swamp Thing in it, so I pulled 2 Prime Swamp Things back to back. That felt good.
All right, so when you're building your teams, do you have a certain style you like to play? One man army or a tent pole or something that's got a bunch of little pieces everywhere?
I've learned that I like the like one man army and tent poles because there's a lot less to keep track of, and I'm ADHD. My mind is already everywhere and doing everything at once. So the less I have to keep track of, the better I play. So
So you'll suffer from analysis paralysis.
yes, very much so.
Does your wife play HeroClix?
No, my wife is actually not much of a gamer at all. She plays video games, but has never really delved into the tabletop or like card games or anything like that.
Not too late.
I've been trying. I've been with her 16 years. I don't think there's ever any hope. I
So do you play aggressive or defensive?
play aggressive. I don't have the dice rolls to play aggressive, but I like to play aggressive.
Uh, who taught you how to play? Like, how long did it take you from first finding out that HeroClix still existed to actually feeling somewhat confident in your playing?
I still don't feel confident in my playing, but I have come a long way. And honestly, a lot of that has been thanks to Daniel Powell.
Really?
Um, yeah, he's. I reached out to him and joined his Discord and his server, and I paid the higher tier subscription for his. Uh, I forget what that's
Mentorship?
called
Is
for his
coaching or mentor?
mentorship, and yeah, and did that for a couple of months, and basically just chit chatted with him, for a few hours a month, and it really helped improve my game because he just helped me like get my process started on like how to build teams and how to look for good pieces and sets and things like that. So
Well, that's a good point to remind our viewers and listeners that we also have a Discord and a Patreon account where you can subscribe and mingle with other listeners, other players, and get pointers and talk HeroClix and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to subscribe to our Patreon or our Discord, I'll have the links in the comments below.
I'm gonna do that right now.
So you've bought a few bricks or cases of Heroclix. Is there a proper way to open a booster?
Yes, from outside to inside.
So
'Cause the
that's the
good
case
stuff
you're going.
always.
But is there a way to
Yep.
specifically open a booster?
Oh yes, from the bottom. Just a
No.
little X-Acto knife.
Yes.
Cut the
You don't
tape
even
on
need
the
the knife.
bottom.
You don't even need the
No.
knife. You just press the tape.
All right, Scott.
I
I have to know. Toilet paper, over or under?
Depends on how many small children you have and what age they are. If you have small children, the toilet paper faces the wall because if they come in there and start pressing it down, it's not going to just roll out. As an adult, you have it come face down where it's at you. You just pull it down and you're good to go.
How about you, Chris?
don't really care either way.
Well, it's been proven that the patent on the toilet paper dispenser showed over. So that's the proper way to do it.
Yes, unless you have children,
Yep.
then it goes backwards.
Or a small dog or something that wants to sit there and just claw at it.
I'm trying to look to see where I had questions on Facebook. I know that someone asked something.
It was in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
Someone asked, "What was the first Heroclix you bought?" So you said that was Black Panther.
No, the first one, that was the first new set that was out. The first thing I bought was a case of Deadpool Weapon X.
Yes.
That was the very first thing that I bought.
What was your favorite piece out of that set?
And if I the Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone.
Oh, man.
I don't have that one either.
That thing is so mean. I must have opened 7 or 8 bricks trying to pull that piece before I finally gave up and just bought it.
I am a huge Deadpool fan, so I love that whole set. Probably more than I should because it wasn't a very good competitive set, but I loved it anyway.
So you're in West Virginia. Is that considered the South?
Yeah, it's like the north of the South, but it's definitely the South.
I think it's if you're south of Kentucky, you're in the South.
But he's
We're
in
like
Kentucky. That's
level
like the
with
line.
Kentucky.
Then,
And I'm in southern West Virginia, so
So you're South.
yeah.
yeah.
Someone else asked, Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
And then what do you
I
call?
can't do Pepsi.
What do you call soda in West Virginia?
I personally call it soda, but that's because I was actually born and raised in New York. But around here, the proper term for it is pop.
It's pop. Unless you're in that weird Texas state where everything's Coke.
Everything is Coke in Texas. If you want a Sprite, you better ask for a Coke. All right, I found the questions. Mr. Mork Bird asked, "What can Chris cook?"
Not much. I'm a terrible cook.
And Chris crisscross. In addition, can he jump? He's going back on some old school music.
Is that a reference that I don't get?
He's referencing an old
Oh my god, I feel
crisscross. I think they were in the early '90s.
I haven't thought of that song in so many years. Oh my god.
The next one I don't understand is what's your favorite ability in each of the 4 categories? Are there any non-negotiable?
I think he's
as part of the team build.
So like,
I think he's talking about like speed, attack, defense, damage.
Okay, so which power set would you say is your favorite?
In speed, definitely hypersonic. Hypersonic has always just felt like one of the most busted abilities in the game to me. An attack, it is, where'd you go? Telekinesis. I love being able to get across the board and make alpha strikes, and that's a way of doing it. With defense, I like Invincible. That is my favorite. It feels like when I very first played Heroclix back in 2002, I don't think Invincible
It was not
was.
around. Neither
I
was
didn't think so
Impervious.
because Invincible would have been so busted back then. And then with damage, it's definitely probability control because I'm the kind of guy that needs 3 or 4 probability controls to make one attack when I need to roll a 5.
It doesn't change the probability. It changes your possibility.
Scott and I will never agree on this.
What's that?
So you and I will
Yeah, you're
never
never gonna
agree
hear
on
the
that.
end of it. Okay, if I flip a coin, what's the chance of getting heads?
50-50.
Okay, 50-50. So you tell me I got to flip it again. What's the chance of getting heads?
It's still 50-50.
So we just did a probability control, and I still have a 50-50 chance. Didn't change the probability, changes the possibility.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
It's still a good power. It's a very good power.
It's not named properly. All right. You can legacy card one figure that hasn't been in Modern in the last 5 years. You haven't been playing 5 years. What would you bring back?
Oh,
And why? All right. If you have the ability to create a legacy card for one figure that hasn't been in Modern for the last 5 years, what would you bring back and why?
Goblin King. Goblin King. Goblin King, Goblin King, Goblin King. I love Goblin King. That figure is awesome. And he was like, he was so good at one point in the game and just got nerfed so hard that I feel like if they gave him a shot again, he could actually make something like a name for himself.
You're going to make people happy with that answer.
Yeah, I would 100% Goblin King every day. Or Jakeem Thunder, but.
Jakeem is, there was a local here that loved playing Jakeem. He's still, every time we go to a silver game, he's like, I got to make a Jakeem team. I'm never going to play it, but I'm going to make it just so I can keep him in my heart and thoughts and prayers.
Do you have any other obsessions other than Heroclix?
Yes, Magic the Gathering, comic books, and old school media like old DVDs and VHSs and stuff like that. Like, I actually have a CRT TV in the back there with the DVD VHS combo player hooked up to it.
Nice.
Are you playing
It's West Virginia, man. Mothman's coming for you.
your dial-up internet connection? All right, so my question is, are you planning on going to any major HeroClix events for the remainder of the year, such as Origins or Worlds or Red, White, and Clix?
Unfortunately, probably not. Where I am now in fostering 2 newborns, I don't really see myself having the ability to travel. At least not this year, but I do very much so next year. I would like to go to Red, White, and Clix. I would like to go to Nationals. I would like to go to Worlds. I would like to go to Champion Clix, and I would like to go to ROC, the H4H event.
H4H.
I would like to go to all of those because I missed out on all of them this year because I had a lot of car problems. I hit something with my car a couple months back, and I was basically off the road for a while. And now that I'm finally back on the road, I can't travel, but by next year I'll be able to play.
Well, going to those events is a big step up from the local event. So lots of practice,
Yes.
lots of preparation.
It is nice. So usually those events, there are lots of battle royales and sealed events that don't require the same prep as a major event. So like when I go to one, I sign up for the main event, but I also get as many battle royales and sealed events as I can, just get playtime in without having to be too stressed.
I mean, the people is what I think the people set this community apart. Even if you're at a competitive event, you're gonna run into a possible dink ever so often. But the overall, there's a lot of great people that play HeroClix.
I agree.
Every experience I've had with the community has been nothing but positive. Every experience. And I've done a lot of online trades and stuff since I've come into the scene. And everybody I've dealt with has just been wonderful and awesome. I love this
Speaking of which,
community.
I want to take a segue off of your trading stuff. Um, I have an apology to make to a gentleman in Arizona. I traded him some stuff, and shipping didn't get there as fast as it was supposed to. It went halfway to his house, came back to my house, went all the way to his house. And I just mailed it in an envelope because it was a legacy card. I put enough packing in there to where it wasn't going to damage or anything, but I didn't get tracking on it. So I made a boo boo. I'm calling myself out for that. Do better. Get good, scrub, as Jay would say.
I have
myself.
learned that with the lazy cards, you have to pay for the tracking because if you send it in a white envelope, it will get lost every time. I've lost 3 legacy cards that way, and now I just pay for the tracking because otherwise it gets lost.
Yeah, I'm sending him a Rocket and Groot LE, an old school one, just to make up for it. So
Good for you.
sorry.
Have you done much trading and online buying of pieces, or do you just get them out of the boosters?
No, I've actually done a fair amount of online trading and selling and buying and all that.
Well, shameless plug
Like
here. I
I've
have
probably
a lot of stuff on my Facebook page for sale.
No,
okay.
I'm trying to purchase one from you. I have a question I didn't ask you earlier. Have you been? Are you former military or current reserve?
No.
And do you have a nickname we should know about?
No, everybody just calls me Chris.
Okay, what's with the Discord name, or what's your HC units tag? Or
It's been an online name of mine since I was a teenager, honestly, and it's an ode to Magic the Gathering. It just stands for Old School Omega, which is the OS Omega, and it was just a reference to my old favorite Magic card, Wrath of God, and it's stuck. I've had the name for like 20 plus years at this point.
In your recent experience in HeroClix, have you been introduced to HC units?
Say that again.
Have you been introduced to HC units?
Yes, I love HC units. HC units is awesome.
It's hard to believe that it's still relatively new. It's only a couple of years ago that it was brought online. Now I can't imagine playing HeroClix without it.
I mean, I used HC Realms for the longest time, but HC units is great.
Yeah.
It is.
So, what does your wife think of you getting into this nerd addiction of HeroClix?
My wife is awesome. She is the most supportive woman that I know. She lets me do my thing, and there's been some times where like I needed to pay some bills, and I had some extra clicks laying around that I wasn't playing with that were worth some money. Sold them real quick online, was able to pay the bills, and it made her happy. So
Um,
Excellent.
what is a figure that you? What's a character you enjoy playing a lot?
probably John Constantine.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
He is
For the
probably my favorite to
shenanigans.
play, at least in modern. I just love shutting off probability control because if mine aren't going to work, I don't want anybody else's to work either.
If you had 2 dice in front of you and you're gonna roll, is it gonna be a crit hit or a crit miss?
Crit miss every time.
I had
Out of
back-to-back crit misses on Monday, but I still had a good time.
Out of all the actors who have played
I've rolled
Batman,
4 crit misses in a game.
ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Seven
So,
in one
okay, you got
game.
me beat. You got me beat. That's
So all the actors who played Batman, who is your favorite Batman?
That's a rough one. That really
Lego.
is.
Lego Batman.
I liked Christian Bale as Batman a lot, but the one from the 90s, I'm blanking on his name.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yes, thank you. I loved the Michael Keaton Batman movie as a kid. In fact, I am like 99% sure that is what made me become a comic book nerd, was that movie specifically. So, because I was born in '88, so I was like right at that perfect age when that movie came out, that it was very influential to me.
I know it's a very hot take, very unpopular opinion, but the new guy, the Twilight guy, what's his name? Who's the new
Sparkles.
Batman? What's that?
Sparkle McSparkles.
It's Robert something.
Yeah,
Robert something.
that movie is horrible. Dude, I've never fallen asleep during a superhero movie. I've fallen asleep in that movie twice. I can't get through it without falling asleep.
I haven't got a chance to watch it all the way through. I want to know. I'm a Riddler fan. I'm a villain fan basically, but I can't get to the part to where it's like, okay, these are the villains of the movie. I'm like, yeah, I keep seeing the same first 30 minutes, and I got to go do something else.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's a rough watch. People seem to love it.
It
I
is.
don't know why.
I mean, it's a detective movie.
I made it through. I made it through it, but I was kind of. It just didn't really feel like a Batman movie to me.
Who is your Spider-Man?
Toby Maguire.
Oh, you, Scott?
Those were definitely the.
Actor-wise, I thought Andrew Garfield was phenomenal, but he didn't get the play that he should have got because Sony was redoing stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's the Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was. It wasn't up to par, really. I mean, the Electro was rough.
Okay, but you couldn't do anything different for Andrew Garfield. I thought his Spider-Man was very good.
No, he was great. The villain in that movie was not.
Yeah. But as like the comic book Spider-Man, I mean, I don't know if you can say anything other than Peter, but I liked Ben. Because Peter gets wishy-washy and Ben, I don't know. It wasn't as wishy-washy to me after you figured out that there were two different guys.
Yep.
If we're going comic book, it'd definitely be Peter Parker.
Yeah. Do you watch the Scott Porter unboxings?
Yes, I haven't. Has the Lantern Legacy one come out yet? Or
He teased it. He hasn't dropped it yet. I would expect to see it probably next week. Be my guess.
I'm going to say after
Okay.
Father's Day. I bet it's coming after Father's Day. Because he'll be home for Father's Day, and they'll do the recording that weekend, so it'll be after Father's Day. That's my thought process.
All right, so you want to put a wager on it? I say next week. You say the week after.
I mean, what do you want to bet? You want this busted rubber band out of my hair that I just had fall out? I need to send you another box of goodies?
I just want to have a gentleman's bet of see who's right.
Okay.
I told you so.
That's fine. I got a question for you, Wes. How many views did your unboxing get from my treasures?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I watched it like a half a dozen times.
That is a good question.
Did a Facebook Live of some stuff that I sent him, and it's an entertaining open.
172. No, 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 no,
172
no.
views.
No, that was the wrong one. 559.
Holy cow.
559 views.
Yeah, you should put that on YouTube. See what it does.
I was trying, but the only way I can figure out how to do it is to like screen record it and then.
And then it'll have a weird echo to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Cats or dogs?
Both. I have four dogs and 2 cats.
Hey, hey. What's a lawyer's favorite drink? Subpoena colada. Hey. Hey. What's the rooster's favorite pastime television? Boxing.
Your Kevin questionnaire.
Yep. So here on Talking Clix, we have what we call the Clix questionnaire. It is a scientifically proven set of questions that were derived by the AI, Kevin, the Kevin, to decisively get into the head of the Heroclix player. People have watched you on this episode now. They know your name. They don't really know you, deep, dark secrets. Are you brave enough to answer the Clix questionnaires?
Let's do it.
What is your most proud Heroclix achievement?
Yep.
It could be launching your own play group, getting on a podcast.
I would say having
hit.
an 8-man Winamat launch at my local game store for the first time. That was definitely the most proud I have felt playing Heroclix.
Nice job.
Good job. Good job.
If you could
My
change a
first Winamap
power,
was like 6.
was that?
My first Winamap was like 6 people.
Oh, nice.
So good job.
If you could change a power in the PAC book, what would you change and how?
Not one I'd ever really thought about, but
All right, you can think on that a little bit. I'm going
yeah, I
say
have to
your
think on that
answer's-
one.
Your answer is going to be sidestep, and you only want it 1 square. It's still really good.
That's actually not a bad one. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Sidesteps kind of always felt a little overpowered.
Do you have a character that's been made several times you feel has not been comic book accurate or movie accurate?
What do you mean by that? Like in Heroclix?
Yeah, Heroclix. Do you have a figure that you feel is not comic book accurate? They've made like 50 Deadpools. Do any of them feel like Deadpool, or they've made 50 Wolverines? Do any of them feel like the Wolverine that you want?
Honestly, with Wolverine is probably the biggest one that I would have a grief with, because none of the Wolverine figures I've ever owned made me feel like I wanted to keep the figure just for my personal collection. And I love Wolverine; he's one of my favorite characters. But all the ones I've ever had, and I've had some pretty nice ones, I don't know, the sculpt felt lackluster and just not very good.
So, sculpt swap is a thing, but the Exoswords Wolverine, the one that just anytime you roll a d6, you basically heal. That one is stupid hard to put down. Could he have a better sculpt? Of course.
There's one Wolverine that I felt was criminally underplayed, and that's the Never Die Wolverine that he would get knocked to his card and then heal back up onto the board. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I remember that one. He was just the game as a competitive play. If he gets KO'd, he's never coming back because the games. I don't know where you and Atlas are playing and having these games just be mollywallops one way or another. A lot of times I go to a competitive event. If I get 4 turns, that's a lot of turns in some games.
Yeah.
Now sometimes you can play 14 turns. You'll be shuffling your your deck up. But I remember using the tarot deck. I would hardly ever get to go back through it again. So 4 to 5 turns. If something dies and it has the ability to come back, it's never coming back.
That's fair. I just thought it was a really unique ability that I thought should have been exploited more. But it wasn't a particularly good piece. I just really liked that mechanic. It was when the Wolverine would get KO'd, Chris, it would go onto the card of the character, and then each turn it would heal one. And so it basically never died. The only way it would die is if it was off the board when the game
When time
ended.
was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. How do you feel about Beetlejuice as a newer player?
Honestly, I think he's all right. I mean, there's stuff that keeps him in check that also keeps other meta staples in check, and he himself kind of makes people play in a way that's a little more conservative and not as dependent on free actions. So,
Okay,
I actually kind of
Miles.
like him.
Miles and Ryan Redmond. You heard it here. He's a newer player. He's only been playing for less than a year, and he thinks that Beetlejuice is fine. So you guys calm down. Beetlejuice is fine.
And he's fine, yo. He's fine. So would you say you're a better builder or a pilot?
Better pilot. Even though I did think I built a decently spicy team for Silver Age I want to try out, so.
Oh, I got some spicy ones. You better watch out.
What is the best sandwich?
A Reuben.
Yes. Yes.
All right, what's your favorite topping for vanilla ice cream?
Strawberries. Like the strawberry jam stuff.
In the syrup? Okay. I'm not a strawberry
Yeah.
fan. If you've ever eaten, like, I don't know what y'all snails look like out there. Are they like snails? Or are they really tiny? Y'all even know what snails
never
are?
sees.
Are they
No
pretty
idea.
tiny?
They're tiny. Okay, here they get about this big, and I used to be a lot more braver than I am now. Maybe I was dumber. I don't know. Maybe I've learned something. Snails and strawberries have the very same texture. They have the crunchy shell or the seeds, and then that really hard / not tasty center. So, if you want to know what a snail feels like, it's a little goopier than the strawberry. So get like a nasty strawberry, but it's got the crunch on the outside of it. That's what a snail feels like.
Scott, I have loved strawberries for 45 years, and you might have just ruined them for me.
It's
You
just
may
like
have
a
ruined it
snail.
for me, too.
That's gross.
Now, apparently, you're not supposed to just go up to the gutter and pull a snail out because they can be poisonous. So, yeah, I'm not supposed to eat snails anymore. But that was back when I was trying to get on Fear Factor. I would do crazy stuff like that.
Chris, who is the most famous person you've met?
Liam Neeson.
What was that?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Was he coming after you?
No. Actually, this is a funny story. I grew up in New York State, and I went to school in a little town called Millbrook, New York. Went to a Catholic school in Millbrook, New York. Well, we would go to church sometimes, and Liam Neeson went to that same church, and I met him there just by chance as a kid going to church.
Nice. How did you end up from New York to West Virginia?
Family. My mom was born around here, and my mom and dad moved back here in 2006. So, been here for a long time.
Favorite MCU movie or show?
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
So, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. I'm behind the times. I'm just now watching X-Men '97, and I know it's been out for a year or more. That show has so much stuff packed into each episode. I'm like, holy cow! Like when
Yeah.
can I spoil it? Can I spoil it when Gambit goes up against that Sentinel?
Oh,
Ah,
I've already seen it. I've already seen it.
I
No.
I was applauding and laughing and wanting to cry all at the same time.
I went
Yep.
back to the OG X-Men. I've been working my way through. I'm on the last season before I
Okay.
branch into
I
97.
that's what I've been doing, trying to catch up on it, and I got 2 episodes left on '97, and I'm like, holy hell, these episodes put those old ones to shame because there is so much going on, so much. It's like, good job, whoever wrote this, and just to make some of the highlights of stuff that's happened in the comic books, just to touch base on it and make it actually in the show. I'm like, chef's kiss. Good job, guys. Good job.
Nice. Best of the 3 Deadpool movies.
I was actually about to say I think my favorite MCU movie would be the third Deadpool movie. Because that movie was is the first time I went and saw a movie in theaters since the Infinity Gauntlet movie, and it was so good.
You know, I don't think anybody's
I
ever
haven't laughed
said
that hard in a
2.
long time.
It's either 1 or 3. Nobody ever says 2.
It's two.
They're all good. I like all three of the movies, but 3 was just
We got
Hugh
Juggernaut
Jackman
at
made
number
it
2.
perfect.
In our Discord, I like to post a lot of polls and just get people's feedback on certain things. And today I asked, do you like the whole set spoiled before you open your brick, or do you like a little mystery left when you open yours?
I like some mystery to it. I like to read and learn, like as I'm building for a sealed event or something like that. I try actually not to spoil complete sets. Like I watch the Scott Porter videos, but aside from that, I try not to spoil anything until I'm sitting down doing a sealed event.
All right, I got a new beverage for the evening. It's called butterbeer. It's butterscotch, cream soda, and some maybe whipping cream, and maybe some schnapps. I don't know.
It sounds delicious.
It is delicious. It's diabetes in a cup. All right, so I have an answer for your. Do I want it revealed? No, I don't want anything revealed if I can go through it. I try and hold off on the Scott Porter videos as long as possible because I want to have a surprise. Now, if I'm going to go to a major event like Team Worlds or something, heck yeah, I want to know where everything is. I want to know everything that can possibly be pulled together. We have a local who goes through and maps out bricks, and we'll go through these brick map outs and be like, okay, if we get this brick, now we know what team we need to build for each person. So it helps a lot if you have that data. But if it's just sealed night at the game shop, nah, I don't care.
I gotta be honest. I did not expect that from you, Scott. You truly surprised me. I thought you were one of the I want to know everything in the brick before I open it kind of guy.
Nope. I really I don't even open my stuff whenever I buy it. My wife opens it. She goes and sets up a pillow for it on the bed. I'll break the tape on the bottom of the boosters because that's the proper way to open a booster. And I set them off on the bed, and she gets behind her pillow fort, pulls everything out of the plastic, tosses me all the CUR. If it's got a silver ring on it or a green ring on it, she keeps it and waits till the end, and then starts tossing me out the stuff as set numbers come out. So
We
it
have a
would be a
very
horrible
similar
watch, but
pattern.
it's a very fun time for me. I don't know if she enjoys it, but I mean, I enjoy it, so I hope she enjoys it.
My guys at the shop actually get annoyed with me because when
I don't open it when I buy it.
Yeah, when I go to the shop and we open it in the shop, before I go, and she knows I'm going to be buying something, she goes, "You're not going to open it at the store, are you?" "No, honey." So everybody gets their bricks at the store, and they're all opening to see what they got, and they're like, "Wes, what are you doing?" I can't. My wife wants me to open it at home.
Which is fine. I mean, if that's something that you and your wife can bond over,
Mhm.
and she gets entertainment out of seeing your reaction to stuff, great.
It started with a brick of the old Deadpool X-Force set. And I bought this $40 brick off of Troll and Toad. And I just happened to be FaceTiming with one of my buddies and going through the boosters. And there was the Ultra Chase Deadpool Unicorn. And he lost his mind. And my wife was sitting right there next to me, and she was so enamored and thought it was so funny his reaction to that she started to be like, "Okay, so what are we looking for in this brick? And what piece do you really want out of this?" And she wants to get that euphoria of the special
She
piece.
wants to build up that energy.
Yeah,
She wants that energy, which is fine. I mean, I think it's great that they get off on us getting off. And that's not really easy.
All right, Scott or Chris, Marvel or DC?
Marvel. And that's actually kind of a tough one for me because my favorite comic book character is a DC character. So
Who's that?
Who is it?
that would be John Constantine.
Really?
Yes, it's an odd one, but he is the one that I most personally associate with because I used to be a 2-pack a day smoker, and yeah, it just kind of connected with him.
If you had an alter ego that was a comic book character or pop culture, who would it be?
It'd probably be John Constantine.
All right, Chris, what number am I thinking of?
Hold up.
7.
It's a 3-digit number. It's 3 digits, Chris.
Use that magic.
3 digits. 182.
No.
Okay, I don't know.
All right, so
He's not going to tell us either.
Nope.
I think we've already guessed like 14 times, and he still won't tell us.
nope, you have not guessed it. I have not changed it since day one, and I will tell you if somebody guesses right. But I tell you they're not. So you've watched some of the or listened to the Generation Clix, and you know about Aquamiles, correct?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you Team Aquamiles or Team Wespool? Because we have a rivalry.
Team Wespool.
All right, yeah. Eat it, Miles.
Another one for the good guys.
And my last question for you from the Clix questionnaire, sir, is if superheroes were real, if there was a flying man out there that was bulletproof and shot lasers out of his eyes, how would you receive him? Would you think he's a menace or a hero?
Depends on what he did with his life.
Yeah, well, in the lines of likes of Superman. If Superman was here today, would you consider him a menace or a hero?
Probably a hero until he proved himself otherwise.
And what about a vigilante like Punisher or Batman?
Probably also a hero.
Do you think that society would consider them a hero?
Society probably not, but society probably could really use some real superheroes right now, that's for sure.
I agree. Well, Chris, that has been the Clix questionnaire. You've survived the trial of the hot seat. Now the Clix community knows your soul. They know inside your head. How does it feel?
Exposing. No, I feel great.
Great. Scott, what do you got?
Nah, I'm good. I'm messing around with a little superhero right now.
Well, gentlemen, this episode, as all of our episodes, is sponsored by John Hoffner at Clix Creator. He 3D prints anything you can dream up. He's got a whole bunch of stuff that he's printing out for me, and he's got a little goodie box he's going to send me. He's making tokens for Red, White, and Clix. He's making some custom cases. One of them he's going to design to look like an ammo container, an ammo box. He's got all kinds of great stuff, but seriously though, he has like 20 3D printers in his house of varying sizes and complexities, and he is not even trying to make money. Just basically cost materials and shipping, and he'll even do a straight up trade, a chase for something. He's a great guy, super nice, and he will do quality work for super cheap. So check him out. And as I said before, we have our Patreon account, Facebook account, Podbean, which I believe Chris listens to us on, and YouTube, of course. So lots of ways to absorb our content. And then Sky is putting out more casual corner stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. So that's been Talkn Clix, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have any final thoughts?
Just keep clixing it.
I got a final thought. There's an old 7-Up commercial that is running through my head lately. I don't know if y'all remember it, but it was Make 7. Guess y'all don't know it.
Nope.
Scott, you had
You're
the most
supposed to follow up
random
with-
pop culture
Yes, I
stuff
do.
in your head.
It's Make 7, and the other guy says, "Up yours."
Oh, remember that commercial? But fun, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here. It was great to meet you, sir, and I really hope to see you at future events. I do have Red, White, and Clix coming up in November, but there's also other ones. There's Origins coming up, and there's Worlds, and what else is there? There's a whole bunch going on this summer.
What is Red, White, and Clix again?
What's that?
Red, White. He's
Where's
asking when
Red, White, and Clix held at?
In Lafayette, Indiana.
Like, where is it at?
It's in Lafayette, Indiana.
That's right. I thought it was Indiana.
Yep, November 15th and 16th. Is a charity event, so all the proceeds go to help charities who help veterans. Yes, last year was our flagship year, and we had almost 80 players, and I hope to break 100 this year. And we are already working on next year of growing even bigger. So if you can make it out here, you're more than welcome. I know it's a bit of a drive or flight for you, but I'd love to see you there.
I would love to make it. I think it's actually only, I looked it up when it was going on last year, and I think you're only like 8 or 9 hours, so.
Oh, wow.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a 20-hour drive.
How did you hear about it, since you were only starting about then?
When I got into Heroclix, I like deep dove into Heroclix. I spent like a couple of weekends just researching every corner of the internet that I could find, because it was actually really hard to find these like communities and groups initially. I wasn't able to just find you guys like right off the get-go. It took me a while to actually kind of get in the community and get, to where people knew me.
Well, I'm glad that we met you, sir.
Clix. I heard them talking about it on Degeneration Clix, so I mean, it was getting out there. Word made it around. You had 80 people, 80 plus. So
yeah, I
think it was actually a Facebook post that I heard it from, like on one of the Facebook groups.
Yep, I worked overtime at advertising. I joined every Heroclix Facebook group there was, and just blasted it across the internet as much as I could. So I probably overdid it, but I wanted to get the name out there. So, but it was great talking to you guys. I really look forward to seeing you out there. And as always, Keep on
Keep on
Clixing.
clicking.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Sleep tomorrow.